So, good morning to you. It is Tuesday, October the 8th, and I just started a series on barriers to achieving your purpose. And I shared what inspired me was, first, we were living in Ohio, I just had this thought, one of the scariest things I think is not achieving your purpose, like what you're here for. And everybody wants to know, I don't care, unconsciously, consciously, you can deny it, you can accept it. I believe that everybody wants to know, okay, why am I here? What am I here to do? What are my gifts and talents? How do I express those gifts and talents? And I know a lot of things happen in our lives, experiences, and then our perception of those experiences, and then the emotions and feelings that are residual that haven't been addressed in a healthy way. And so I started doing heart to heart. Well, in Ohio, I learned of Dr. Myles Munroe. My husband actually told me about him. And that's when I learned the um, quote that the richest place on earth is the cemetery, that many people die without achieving their divine purpose. And you ask, why is that? If there is a God, why is that? Well, remember that we have free will. We choose every day in every moment who we choose to be, who we choose to follow. And so whether it's good or evil, I'm not talking about a person, I'm talking about good or evil, or choose to be conscious versus unconscious. Choose to be aligned with higher spirit versus aligned with a lower part of ourselves. And so our family during COVID, really it happened. We started doing Bible and devotion. And one of the things that we picked up that we decided to do was Dr. Myles Munroe devotional book that we have. And I'll try to find that and put that in the informational part of this. But then we did that. We did it twice. And then it was the thought that why don't we just go ahead and do the books that he mentioned. So it was a progressive thought. And we actually finished this. Our goal is to do all three books, and we finished this one, which is Understanding Your Potential. Now, remember, by Dr. Myles Munroe, remember, and he transitioned several years ago, but remember that it's not about making you read something, it's about sharing. It's never, I learned at a very young age, do not force anybody to do anything. But I'm learning more and more, it is okay to share. And so we finished that book, and it's just, understanding that you are here for a purpose, understanding that your life has meaning no matter what you go through, that I believe we are fearfully and wonderfully made, fearfully in knowing that what we will experience during our earth's curriculum, wonderfully meaning that we are packed with the abilities to overcome those experiences, to transcend them, to put them in a healthy way. And so much of what I read in this book, I really resonated with those divine principles that tell us we are more than our experiences. And it's something I've been talking about for quite some time. And we started with the second book, which is Releasing Your Potential, right? And so it's understanding, releasing, and I believe maximizing your potential is the third book. So we just started this. This is in October. And we started reading it it came here yesterday. That's me and delay. It came here yesterday, and we started reading it at 5 o'clock in the morning. So go with that, 5 o'clock in the morning. But it was good because it never fails. You pray for stuff, you want stuff, and you just have to be ready to receive it, right? We ask, we believe, we receive. I have long said that it's not about be careful what you ask for, it's be prepared for what you ask for. And often it doesn't come when we want it, things come when we least expect it, right? And we have to know that is often, we have to be able to discern that divine intervention. The spirit knows no time, no place, It is in the moment that we are to live what we hear Eckhart Tolle talk about, being in the present, being in the now, and being able to accept things as they are when it happens. So I want to read the preface of this book to you, just a couple verses that really, I think, encapsulate what I want to do with understanding those barriers that we have. I've talked, last Monday, I talked about doubt. Yesterday, I spoke about others' opinions and how, again, those can be barriers if we allow them to be, if we allow ourselves to believe that we are not here for a divine purpose, that our experiences define us, that our experiences show us who we truly are, and it's not our experiences, it's what we have on the inside that really shows who we are, that really reflects our truth that we need to hone in on. It's what we have on the inside. So these dreams are visual manifestations of our purpose. So the dreams that you have, seeds of destiny planted in the soil of our imagination. I am convinced that God created and gave us the gift of imagination to provide us with a glimpse of our purpose in life and to activate the hidden ability within each of us. Then moving on, it is a fact that every manufacturer makes a product to fulfill a specific purpose, and every product is designed with the ability to fulfill this purpose. This is true of everything God created, including you. The purpose of a seed is to reproduce trees. Therefore, by God's design, they possess the ability or potential to fulfill this purpose. But just because a seed has the potential to produce a forest does not mean it will. One of the greatest tragedies in nature is the destruction of a seed or the isolation of a seed from the soil. Consequently, the death of a seed is the burial of a forest. Having ability is good, but keeping ability is bad. Your life has the potential to fulfill your purpose. If, however, you imprison that potential, you rob your life of its purpose and fulfillment. And remember that we have free will. We choose to perceive things how we want to perceive it, and that we have the ability to regulate our behavior, our choices, right? So our thoughts consistent thoughts often lead to our choices. And then when potential is kept, it self-destructs. And there is another Bible verse that from Dr. Myles Munroe that I have in my vision paper. And it says, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. And that's another quote by Dr. Myles Munroe. And if you think about that, you think about all the issues that we have, the violence, the school shootings, homicides, suicides, abuse, neglect, at any age for a child, from young to older, abuse, neglect. And we think about, the issues that we have. We have, issues with weight management, eating healthy, how we cope with stress and the things that we do to our bodies, right? And I'm going to read that. When potential is kept, it self-destructs. And when you think about, there are a lot of people that are doing work, but is it of divine potential? Or are they using it in another way? And the other thing that I believe is important is that before we do our work, we must heal our wounds. We must at least be on the journey of healing our wounds, identifying them and addressing them in a proper manner. Because if we don't identify our wounds and we don't address them, they come out. It's not money that is evil. It is not, being famous. It's not money that's evil. I'll stick with that. It is the choices that we make with the money that we have. And those choices come from who? Uno numero, from us, right? The tremendous potential you and I have been given is locked inside us, waiting for demands to be made on it. We have a responsibility to use what God stored in us for the good of the world. That's going, it's addressing what I said before, that we're to use our gifts for the good of the world. So that's even another issue, using our gifts, knowing what they are, but then using them for the good of the world. And at any point, if we're not using, identifying, nourishing, expressing our gifts, and then if we're not doing it correctly, at any point we can experience what came to mind is self-sabotage. Is it the people that sabotage us, or is it the thoughts that we have about the experience that sabotages us? All right. Some of us blame our historical circumstances. I talked about that yesterday, and others' opinions. Others blame social status. I'm not good enough, my family history, and all these stereotypes we have about, different cultures and races and religions. And we have that kind of circulating, in the general consciousness, or world consciousness, and it's up to you to allow it to affect your individual consciousness. Still others transform the responsibility for their failure and frustration to their lack of formal education. Because I didn't finish high school, because I didn't finish first grade, because I didn't finish college, I am not worthy to do whatever it is that you are wanting to do. So we blame it on our formal education. Are there less than ideal opportunities? And then closing up, the purpose of this material, speaking of the book, is to help you understand and appreciate the principles necessary for releasing your potential. You must not add to the wealth of the graveyard. Start it with the quotes, end it with we must not. We do not have to. We have a choice. We choose how to create, as co-creators, our lives. Do we want to spend time at a job or in a position that we feel like we're not maximizing our potential, that our potential is not being nourished daily, by our environments? When I think of that, I think of school, I think of employment, I think of our homes. That are you in an environment that really nourishes you from the inside out? Because again, that's what we see on the outside is a reflection of what's going on the inside. No matter how you look at it, whatever's going on, the anger, the frustration, the blaming, the shaming, the guilt, the resentment, all of that comes from the inside of unhealed wounds. So I just wanted to share that. I thought it was very powerful reading this morning, just in the preface, and looking forward to reading the rest of this book and moving forward. I have several barriers: procrastination, blame, that I'll be talking about on Mondays, and how those impact us. What does it look like in our lives, and how we can transcend those emotions and feelings. And I look forward to sharing that. I look forward to hearing it myself, because I believe what I say to you, it is for me. What I say to you, I'm saying to myself. And that's the great thing about sharing information, right? Sharing information to help build people up to life, life building, right? Life giving. Is that when we give life, when we share positivity, when we share strength, when we share that we have power, when we share that we are in control of our lives, we are actually resowing those seeds in us as a parent, as a human being, as an employer, as an employee, as a teacher, as a student. All of us are students. We have an opportunity to help people remember who they are. And so, at some point, I didn't even think about the name of my business, starting with that thought of scariness, and right now today with a business name of Fulfill Your Divine Purpose. And so my thing is that as you help others fulfill their purpose in life, as you help them to remember who they are, my website, you do it for yourself. It's just a way of giving that gets returned, like Louise Hay, multiplied. When you give love, you receive it in multiplied form. Florence Shen, many of our great leaders, Dr. Wayne Dyer, people that align themselves with this higher spirit and power is not just for, as they have shown, the influential, not for people that have had higher social status. Louise Hay and all of her story and her trials and tribulations, and not starting her business or her Hay House until, like, I believe 50s, 60s. And Wayne Dyer, Dr. Wayne Dyer, and foster homes, and really connecting with this higher spirit. And you could just trace it down on all of these people that have decided, that chose in their life, that I am going to reach for something greater, that is the greater that is in me, that I already have. I'm going to reach with that. I'm going to align with that, and I'm going to be in awe and watch it demonstrate itself through me. We are not this power. This power wants to live through us and reflect itself through us. We become a mirror of this divine spirit. And I know there's a lot going on that's preventing us from doing that. All these chronic diseases that we're having, these these problems or issues. I don't like using the word problems, that we create in our lives out of our consciousness, out of how we feel about ourselves. I'm not worthy. I don't deserve this. The bad things always happen to me, and I have to do this because it was done to me. All of these thoughts that we're projecting into this world consciousness, and then we wonder how come we're having the issues that are going on. Our thoughts affect us directly, and they also affect us indirectly. And that's why I believe, as I speak about this, we are on this earth together, and realizing that there is a connection between all of us. And when we don't work together, what happens? We end up being unstable. We end up not fulfilling our divine purpose. We end up in the graveyard. Singers, dancers, musicians, teachers, coaches, people that doubted who they were, people that listened to other people's opinions, and a host of other barriers that I will be discussing on my Facebook page, Fulfill Your Divine Purpose. So I will talk to you guys soon. It is Tuesday after Monday. What are you going to do today? What are you going to do in this moment? What do you feel like you need to do? What do you need to reflect on to help you achieve and sustain the quality of life that you deserve, and to fulfill your divine purpose, I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care of yourself. Have a good one.